Unavailable. Unknown.
Hey everybody, it's Sam. Today is November, September 26th, 2018, and I am sorry I didn't do a vlog yesterday. I had a lot going on emotionally, so yeah, there was a lot going on, but I want to do this every day, and I want it to be like a check-in for me for people that are supporting me. I have really tried this week to reach out to people instead of isolating and keeping this stuff in. Because how I've lived for the past months, whether it was with the dissociation, blacking out, not being myself in any way or form, or the anxiety symptoms, is to basically keep it all inside and ignore it, the whole thing, and not tell very many people, because when I did, no one seemed to understand, including the mental health professionals. Really did not understand at all, and I don't think they still understand. The one thing that I'm hopeful about in terms of mental health care is, one is this art therapist that I see Fridays, Angela. I think she's going to be gone the next couple of weeks, but I will keep seeing her and creating art. I created a piece the other day and I posted it. It was about me, me in the center of like a yarn circle with boundaries around it, and kind of like things where if I was going to be like intruded on, spiritually, then they would like bounce off these things or get caught in it, and so I was safe inside the little circle. So that was a really good representation of what goes on in my head and what I want it to be, safety and no, harm to myself or anybody. So I really liked that picture. I want to make another one. I want to make a picture of trying to show something, like say a shape or some textures in a certain order or something, so that it's how it's supposed to be seen or experienced normally, and then somehow in the next shape show that perception has changed of it, and some maybe things are added or subtracted and like twisted around, and yet you're expected to see it the way it's supposed to be on the first example. And I want to show that so that people know that's kind of how my brain works, and that can be very horrible. And I think putting that down on paper in an artistic way will be very helpful. I just need help gluing things and cutting things and thinking up ideas. So I'm going to use these posts, like I said, as a vlog, as a intro on what I'm doing, throughout the day or at the end of the day, and we'll post to people that are interested in. Now, some of the topics are going to be about mental health and trauma. Some of them are going to be about spiritual things that I'm not sure would trigger a lot of people, because it's not religion, it's more energetic healing, spiritual healing, and even harmful beings or ghosts healing. So, and maybe like past life stuff or whatever. So that's kind of like the one end that I'm working on with my friends, Betty and Lisa, and then the other aspects I think are going to be more helped in actual therapy. A really good thing is that my mom finally did get to talk to Megan today. They did set up a fee, and so I can go every week, and I guess mom really liked her, so I feel much more optimistic about going to therapy and really getting stuff done using whatever tools she has to help me. I think a lot of things that I need help with is how the anxiety translates into physical symptoms, like my hands will just tense up and have a hard time moving my fingers, and I just feel all like odd, like my body temperature is all off, and like just all sorts of strange things that happen, and I guess they're all down to anxiety. And but I don't know if there's like a trauma underneath that, because I've never really experienced anything before that would cause this. And so I don't know, but a conversation that I had the other day that I wanted to vlog about too was about memory and repressed memory. And basically I wrote a trauma specialist person and she said what I was dealing with looked like repressed memory, and I never heard of repressed memory, so I looked it up. And of course, there's all this controversials about, oh, did the therapist put it in the person's head? And for me, I'm kind of like, well, I just heard of it. Nobody put it in my head, so, I don't have any memories of anything related to these, emotions and physical, disruptions that I'm going through. I don't have any kind of memory. And it seems like a lot of people also didn't have the memory. And so I talked to some different trauma survivor people who said that, the brain and the body are so complex and they can get off track so easily. And like the longer it's there, the longer it gets off track, and things are just not adding up right, which is exactly what goes on in my brain all the time. It's just, things just don't make sense. Or they make sense to me, but they don't make sense to another person. And so that's just, it's so hard to connect in those ways and to just be emotional but not be able to get a quick solution, or when, in front of staff especially, I'm emotional, I cry one little bit and they're like, oh my God, you're crying, like, you shouldn't be upset, but here's a PRN, or go lay down. And it's like they don't know how much I keep in and how much I look okay, but I'm not. And I try so hard to look okay because I've always been told in my life that I'm not. I'm too emotional, I'm too childlike, whatever. And so I try to just be what people want me to be so I can be supported, And that's very hard when you're, you can't regulate what's going on inside and you have no idea even what's going on inside, I keep talking to Betty about what's been going on an energetic level, and, it's hard to comprehend, that something that you can't see or hear can cause so much, havoc on you, and that the only way that you can, get rid of it is to ignore it no matter what. But they are doing horrible things, so it's hard to be like, I'm going to ignore it no matter what, because, it's just ridiculous, all these things I have to go through, the emotional aspect of letting out my emotions, and then this physical stuff in my body, and then this spiritual stuff that I am still trying to wrap my mind around, and yet it's happening all the time. Everything is just happening at once, and it's so hard to take it apart and look at each thing and try to remember all the different solutions, to how to help with this, how to help with that, don't do this, don't do that, and do this, and it's like carrying a bunch of stuff in your hands. But I feel like if I don't do these things and people are helping me by giving me these ideas, if I don't do them or they don't work, I really feel like people are going to resent me for asking for support when I'm rejecting their ideas, or they're not working, or I'm not trying hard enough, and I just want to be there for other people. I don't want to hurt, other people with my issues in any way possible. And so I just struggle, and it's like, well, was it easier? It's almost like, well, was it easier when I was blacking out all the time and like wasn't even aware of what's going on, versus like being stuck in my body and stuck in my brain and trying to figure all this out basically by myself, And I finally understood yesterday when I was talking to a friend on the phone that, my life is never going to be the same as it was before December. Like, I just need to accept that it's not. I'm a different person. I'm dealing with different issues. I need different types of support. And I think that's a huge thing for me to have, be facing and trying to accept, is that I am different now. Because I was trying so hard to hold on to my previous life, when now I'm realizing that this stuff is my life. Now that I'm showing people and I'm like given permission to experience what's going on every moment, it's like, well, every moment is terrifying and huge with all this strange stuff happening, so but it feels worse because because I am facing it. It feels so much worse, and I'm afraid it's gonna make my relationships worse and everything, and I've already lost friends, so I don't want to lose any more, and so I just go crazy thinking about what can I do better, what can I do better to fix this situation faster so that I can be balanced person, probably not like back to who I actually was before, but changed in a positive way. I mean, like, if I can sense all this energy and spiritual things, people do amazing stuff like that in their lives. I want to be able to help in that way too, but and I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, that's the least intention, and I'm not doing this for attention. Like, but it just feels like, I mean, I know this stuff I'm going through is, like, way too hard to be believed, you know? And so, I don't know. But I am happy that the Megan thing got worked out, and hopefully I'll be able to go to art therapy this week and do my picture on perception. And then, I don't know when she's going. I think she said October. And so that'll be good. And yeah, I'm just very tired, but I have a lot to think about. I'm downloading, special music, nature sounds. I really need to look into that sensory corner more and just like make myself sit there when I'm anxious. And just make myself sit over there instead of being on the bed and trying to, mentally get myself out of it. I somehow have to experience it and be okay. But that takes a lot of support and a lot of time from other people helping me to figure it out. But then I get, I get worried that they're gonna, be resentful that I'm taking up all this time, and because I'm like reaching out to certain people like every day, and I know it's gonna wear on them, I know it is. And so, I don't know. I don't want to be a needy, clingy person that no one wants to be your friend with, because I'm going through so many struggles. But I don't know how to be a good friend to anyone right now because obviously I keep screwing that up. So I don't know. I'm very tired. I took a nap today. It was the first day, like yesterday I also stayed up all day. Part of it was because I had to see Dr. Clearing in the afternoon, and then part of it was just I was so awake and like revved up like I used to be, kind of, without the dissociation and the taking over thing happening. All these other symptoms are like right up front. So, I guess I really need to address those. But I'm really happy that people will be able to hear this as a check-in, as a vlog, and hopefully get something out of my experience, and I hope I can help others someday. I'm just confused about so many things. So, yeah, I mean, I give my friends, especially this one, so much credit for just sticking with me. I mean, like, I'm probably, like, the worst, like, she's not my student, but, I mean, I'm not her student, but, worst people to give this advice to. I keep getting everything wrong, and that's the last thing I want. And I want her to be safe from the things that are going on to me, because I'm afraid those things could, hurt her. Because it happens to people that are really sensitive to energy, and, she definitely is. And I would hate to think that, but I don't know. So I will talk to you later, and yeah, have a good night, everyone. Tomorrow should be just hanging out. Yeah, hopefully I'll just be hanging out tomorrow and feel better. Alright, thank you.
My movie. Web stop button.